Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And the environmentalists are pushing Humza Yousaf to do something insanely stupid, or at least another insanely stupid thing. But this one is actually on the extreme edge of what is insane and what is stupid. They're saying that he must go further than just pledging not to expand the oil fields in the North Sea, but to actively cut them and basically destroy Scotland's economy. They're saying it's for the good of the planet. It is, of course, no such thing. You could close down the entirety of Great Britain tomorrow and it would make not one dot of difference to the world. And also the fact that this claim that there is alternative fuels available is quite clearly a load of rubbish. And anyone who fails to see that oil will be around forever simply because of what oil is and how useful it is, and we're not even talking fuel here. These people have no concept of the world in which they live, but they'll spout this diatribe because they think that they're being wonderful, virtuous and saving the planet. Of course, they're all bonkers. Let's look at what they're trying to get Humza Yousaf to do, and of course, given that he's got no spine, he may well just end up doing it. Here goes. So Humza Yousaf told to go further than Starmer's oil and gas pledge. And I will say that you're going to have this guy in London, Starmer, is going to dictate energy policy that will destroy the Scottish oil industry. Now we know why Starmer wants to do it. He wants to destroy any hope there is of Scottish independence, and he knows simply destroying the Scottish oil economy takes independence off the table. There is nothing else. There is not enough money in Scotland otherwise to pay for the country. But it would actually be damaging to the whole of the UK. We would still need lots of oil. So the oil, it wouldn't reduce one dot of oil use. It just means that the country's money, instead of making it from selling oil, would be spending it on oil instead. And it won't make any difference because we're still all going to drive still going to drive internal combustion engines because we haven't built the 36 nuclear power stations needed to replace the fossil fuels that we burn in this country. And until they are put in place, you can't get rid of one thing until you've got something else to go to. And all this claim, we'll immediately stop oil and we'll go to alternative fuels. Yeah, but they aren't there. You can't run a country on a little bit of sunshine and a little bit of wind. You need 36 nuclear power stations in Britain if you want to do that. Good luck, it's taken 30 years to build one. So this clamour for oil, but they also don't understand that oil, the actual part of oil that is used for fuel, represents only a very small part of the oil that comes out of the ground. All the plastics, all the lubricants, all the stuff that goes into medications, that goes into agricultural use. Oil is more than petrol and diesel, but these idiots don't realise that. They also, if you consider that we're still going to have to drill for oil and we move everyone away from burning fuel, petrol and diesel in cars, nobody has yet ever come up with an idea of what the hell they're going to do with all the petrol and diesel that will still get cracked in the refinery process. Because you can't store it. It represents a massive risk. And you can't just let it evaporate into the environment because that is like 100 times worse than burning it. So until these people come up with proposals of what to do as an alternative form of energy and how they're going to deal with the petrol problem, we mustn't listen to them. And they need to go away and come up with the answers to that, and then we listen to these mad proposals. Alternatively, we just ignore them. Because if we did impose what they want, then the Scottish economy, and indeed the whole of the UK, would suffer massively. There'd be poverty, there'd be misery. It would be going back to a medieval lifestyle. And these people don't really want that because they quite like having things, little things, like hospitals and like schools and all that sort of thing that would immediately cease to exist because you couldn't afford to run them. They're just morons. They're absolute morons. Anyway, climate campaigners have penned a letter to the First Minister, Humza Yousaf, calling on him to not only match but go further than Keir Starmer's commitment to block future North Sea oil and gas developments. Because, of course, the other thing is, with very, very high energy prices, it's important that we make them even higher so that people are even poorer, or possibly old people, not making it through the winter because they can't put the heating on, rather than, having lots of gas and lots of electricity because, if it's cheap, people might have money in their pocket, might stay alive, might be warm through winter. And they don't want that, do they? The activists, made up of 5 coalitions who ought to be rounded up and jailed, and 34 climate, fuel poverty and international justice groups, have told the First Minister that the transition away from fossil fuels is an opportunity for the political leader that is needed to build a fairer and more equal Scotland. I will point out here, you've got a fuel poverty group in there, and they want to make fuel way more expensive. I don't get it either. And having jobs is the best way to get a fair and equal society. And what they're proposing is the destruction of jobs, the destruction of all these highly skilled, highly paid jobs in the economy. How is that going to help anyone? It won't, obviously. They don't think these things through. Mr. Yousaf has stressed the importance of the climate crisis. There is no climate crisis. There is absolutely no climate crisis. When politicians talk about climate crisis, say to them, what crisis? And they go, well, the climate crisis, because I don't know what they're talking about. And you say, well, if there was an absolute crisis that you say, why are you still allowing private jets? If it was truly a crisis, that would be the first thing that would be banned. Why is that not banned? Because there is no crisis. It's just a lie. It's just a lie they're using to control people and make us miserable and make us poor, ready so we can regain and re-enter serfdom to these elitists. The Scottish Government has held consultation on draft plans to accelerate to move away from fossil fuels in the North Sea towards renewables. Good luck. Absolutely good luck. It just won't happen. It will not happen. Especially not. We've still got a growing population, and you want to run more and more people to live their lives off a smaller and dwindling power supply. Wow, these people really are absolute geniuses, aren't they? Future oil and gas licences are reserved to the UK government, but UK Labour, under Keir Starmer, has pledged that he would halt any future exploration if he becomes Prime Minister. Well, let's see why he wants this. Why does he want to increase the cost of fuel to people? Why does he want to make people's lives worse? Why does he want to destroy economies? What is he going to propose to do about the energy gap? How does he propose that we get all those other things that we absolutely cannot get from anywhere else other than oil? Yeah, sure, in time, when the technology is available, yeah. But the technology isn't there yet. But the SNP government Energy Minister, Gillian Martin, has claimed Labour is being tone deaf with its proposals. Last year, Nicola Sturgeon told MSPs that the proposed oil field at Cambo in the North Sea should not get the green light. But surely she was the one just 3-4 years ago was saying, an independent Scotland will pay its way thanks to oil revenues. Her line, her words, no, because Greens. So she has to mouth this green mantra. Like I've always said, the Greens are running Scotland. Anyway, Mr. Yousaf has refused to give a view on future developments. He doesn't understand the problem, which is why he can give no real view. Previously, SNP Net Zero Secretary Marianne McAllan said that the Scottish Government did not agree with the new oil and gas licences. But since becoming a senior member of the Scottish Government's Cabinet this year, Ms McAllan said it would be wrong to stop future activity in the North Sea. Could it possibly be that this woman has gone in, has seen the facts and, amazingly for the SNP, has looked at the facts, realised her previous stance was wrong and changed her mind? I do hope so, because if so, it could be the start of a new trend where people in power start looking at facts and stop listening to morons. And it's the only way we're going to save the planet, because you won't save the planet by simply stopping oil. In fact, it'll be worse, because when you can't get electricity to heat your house or gas to heat your house, people will start burning things, and they'll just burn anything they can get hold of, and it'll be nasty and dirty, and it'll just make the whole place worse. Anyway, I'll just stop there and round off and come up. Now, I know a lot of these politicians can't help it. They aren't very bright. But with the SNP and the Greens, it seems to be exceedingly dim. But all these people that keep going on, oh, ban this, ban this, ban this. Ask them to come up with proposals. Ask them to look at today's technology that can possibly do what they're asking to be banned. What can be replaced? You want this banned? Fine. What do we replace it with? We still have this massive need of energy. How do they propose to get it? Oh, solar. Okay. So let's cover the entire north of Scotland in solar panels and wind farms. Where are the people going to live? Where are you going to put the animals on the grass and all this? Because you cannot run the entirety of Scotland on the amount of sunlight Scotland gets, or the amount of, you could probably do it with wind, but you'd need everyone's backyard to have a windmill in it. It is, it's pointless. You cannot run that, and of course you don't get solar at night. You don't get wind when it's not, you don't get any energy from the wind when it's not blowing. What are you doing for your reserves? These people are absolute morons. There's only one way that you can guarantee uninterrupted power supply if it isn't from fossil fuels. And that, of course, is nuclear. And let them build the nuclear power stations and then see the environmentalists cry. But until they can come up with an answer, don't listen to them. They're morons. I'm finishing. Thank you very much for listening. If you like what you see and hear on the channel, please hit the subscribe button. If not, well, thank you very much for getting to the end without me. Leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video, and until next time, stay safe, stay well. Don't listen to the Greens. They are absolutely without a brain. And goodbye.